What's up YouTube? Capital G here, checking out some new cards that just got revealed. One of them is coming out in Battles of Legends. The other was revealed as a V-Jump promo in the OCG, and I am very much looking forward to this card coming out in the TCG. Hopefully Konami gives it to us ASAP because I'm just super amped for it. So let's start off with Astro Kuribo, the V-Jump promo. That is a Fiend effect monster. It's light attribute level 1, 100 attack and 100 defense. This first effect is a hard one to return. You can reveal one number XC monster in your extra deck, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, its level becomes equal to the revealed monster's rank. But you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck while you control this face-up monster summon this way, except number XC monsters. Second effect, a number XC monster summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect. Cannot be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effects. So when I first read this card, I kind of liked it, and I thought about it in the context of Yuma and Utopia, because, you know, I'm looking forward to like building Utopia with the new cards and whatnot. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. You can reveal like a Utopia monster and maybe you special summon this as a level 4 and then you can go into a Utopia. That's cute, but I really don't think that that's the play, because really when you're playing like Utopia, you don't really sit on the rank 4 Utopias. You usually rank them up a bunch of times in the turn. But I think that this card can see a lot of play in decks that make other number XCs. First off, the fact that you're limited to number XC monsters is not a problem, because what is there, like over 100 of those things, so it's not really like that's going to be an issue. But then when you really look at some of the higher numbers, some of the higher rank ones, that's where I think this card can really shine. In the Reddit group, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Reddit, people were talking about playing this in rank 10 trains to summon Dora, which is absolutely ridiculous. Imagine just having essentially in your rank 10 train deck just a generic level 10 extender, because that's what Astro Kuribo basically becomes, and it gives your Dora insane levels of protection. Imagine if you can have a Dora on field with a 4,000 booty. Your Dora cannot be destroyed by card effects. It can be destroyed by, you know, battle, and Dora can activate its effect and then it becomes immune to like basically anything, any other like card effects. That Dora is damn near unkillable at that point. Your opponent's gonna have to use something like a Kaiju or Tribute It to basically get it off the field. And even if you're playing something like Grin Maju, you're playing these decks that summon a lot of rank 8s, you know, getting 2 8s on the field isn't super difficult, but Astro Kuribo can just be a level 8 special summon at any given time. This will help you go into things like, if you're going first, you can make number 38 Titanic Galaxy for a negate. Most likely you're going to be going second, and we know that if you know, these rank 8 decks make number 97, basically it's like a win condition, because it's kind of like a rank 8 OTK. So I think that that's definitely good. I think this card really does shine when it comes to making the higher rank monsters. And I don't know, even you could possibly throw this into like Virtual World. I mean, there's a card, number 49 Fortune Tune. It's incredibly difficult to kill because you can't target it. Now, if you summon it with Astro Kuribo, you wouldn't be able, or your opponent can't run it over by battle, or they can't, you know, destroy it with card effects, and you could always attack into your opponent's monster and then turn it into a Zeus in main phase 2, which is something that Virtual World already did anyway. So yeah, even Virtual World can technically play this card. It's not like summoning Fortune Tune is that difficult for them. So I'm a big fan of this card. I think it's just an excellent extender for decks that want to XC summon, and being limited by the number pool is just not a problem, because there are so many good number monsters, and when you start getting to the higher ranks, you start getting to, you know, the real behemoths like Dora and Titanic Galaxy and etc, etc. Anyways, we have Starving Venomy Dragon. This is... How many of these freaking starving cards do we have? I feel like this has to be at least the 5th one, right? Because I know we had the original Starving Venom Dragon, and then they have like Greedy Venom, and then there's like the Zark card that got banned, and I feel like there's even more than that. Anyways, this is a level 7 Dragon Fusion Pendulum monster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. Its pendulum scale is a 1. The pendulum effect is, well, it's got 3, good lord Konami, 3 pendulum effects, really? Like, God, this is why I hate this mechanic. All right, first pendulum effect says, each time a card or cards on the field is sent to the graveyard, place a Venomy counter on this card for each. Second effect, all monsters on the field except Dark Dragon monsters lose 200 attack for each Venomy counter on the field. Third effect, once per turn, you can reduce the battle damage you take from a battle to 0. Wow, that's a really good effect. The materials to summon this card are a dark monster plus a pendulum monster, and then your actual monster effect when it's on the field, well, you got multiple of that, and the first one's a hard one for turn. Pendulum effects, by the way, people, or pendulum monsters, I should say. First effect says you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Until the end phase, this card's name becomes that monster's original name. Replace this effect with that monster's original effects. Then that monster loses 500 attack and defense. Its effects are negated, and if it does, 500 burn damage to your opponent. Second effect, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, put it in your pendulum zone. So good lord, there's like a mile of text on this card. Let's focus on that actual monster effect, not the one where when it dies, it goes to the pendulum scale, because a lot of pendulum, like extra deck monsters have that. But basically, it's kind of just copying a monster on field, but you're also debuffing that monster because you're making it lose 500 attack and defense, and you're getting burn damage against your opponent. So technically, if you attack them, it's kind of like a net 1,000 like damage for free, basically, because you get 500 where they lose 500 attack and then you get 500 burn. This card seems very much like the fusion version. Well, they're all fusions. I'm trolling. It feels very much like the Zark one, the one that Konami banned instead of Independent Nightingale. That one copies from the graveyard. This one obviously copies from the field. I do like that third pendulum effect. That seems really good, where you can make battle damage 0 from any battle that you take. That seems incredibly strong. It is a once per turn effect, but just think of your opponents attacking you directly. You're basically taking no damage. Most pendulum, like, to really fusion summon in pendulum decks, a lot of the decks, they are pretty much gonna have to use like the Zark cards, because I know some of them let you fusion summon by using monsters like on the field and stuff like that, and that's cool. Obviously, this is a card that you can really only use going second. And I'm guessing you would mainly want it to be used if your opponent had a bigger monster on field, maybe like a Boral Savage Dragon, something like that. I don't really see people leaving like Boral Sword on the field. But if your opponent has like access code, somehow they didn't kill you, or some really big Link monster, big fusion, big synchro, those can definitely be strong targets. And obviously, depending on what monster effect you take, maybe you can end up killing them with the battle damage plus like the burn damage that this card does. It's definitely like a pretty cute card. Overall, I think it's still going to be really niche because you have to play pendulums to summon it, and there's not really any good pendulum decks from what I see. Like, nothing particularly meta. You also have to play dark monsters, but you kind of expected that with the fact that it's a starving venom card. Like, I kind of expected that. Anyways, whatever you guys think of these two cards, you leave that in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always.